Yo, what is up? It is Corey Jagon Marco. As always, back with the Dodcast. This is season 3. Gotta double check the episode because that's what I always gotta do, because I'm a fucking idiot. Let me see here. My videos. Season 3, episode 11. Wow, that's kind of random. How did we end up with 11 episodes for, I guess, playoffs, preseason, yada, yada, yada. Okay, it makes sense. Anyways, hey, there she is. There's Jane. Let's go. First in. Oh, I should probably spam, I guess. I always forget to spam. Where did I put this in the first place? Match. Alerts. I am live. Bada bing, bada boom. It's a little bit earlier than I said it would be by exactly 1 minute. Obviously, gotta turn my chat on. Now, the main thing here is that I am going to be mostly blowing through this Dodcast. I kind of didn't plan well. WrestleMania is on, which I want to not miss too much of. There's only 2 matches, well, technically a third match, I think, to go over. As well as, of course, this movie premiere, which is the main reason I wanted to do this. We don't have predictions to do. There's not anything to talk about really outside of those things. So I'll wait until there's a couple more people in at least before I get started. Although I could just get started and, you know, when people come in, they come in. I'll just do that. I'm just going to get started right away. So right off the bat, wait, actually, first, I do want to remind everybody that anybody who wants a stream VOD uploaded or HLTV demos, just come to me and let me know what you want. I have them all saved and stashed aside, but it's too much shit to upload everywhere. And, I mean, maybe I'll get an FTP or something to put shit on as far as the demos go, but especially with the demos, like, they're just sitting on my hard drive. Most people do come to me shortly after the matches to get them from me, but I know that there's sometimes that people think that they're going to be uploaded somewhere. There's not really anywhere for me to put them. So for now, they're just chilling on my HD until somebody needs them. So, getting right into the recapping. First of all, what we've got was the bronze medal match here. I didn't get to see this. It happened during the silver finals. This was the bronze medal match. It didn't register to me at first, but yes, the bronze medal match. Now, I wonder who Ryan is washed up is. You know, I actually don't know who the Sniper Stas was over there, to be honest with you. Oh, it might be War Within? Is it War Within? I don't see War Within, so it's gotta be War Within, playing as his real name. Alright, but this was on Sherman. Nobody really plays Sherman anymore. I love the way that Washed Up has used these matches to play, like, random maps the last 2 seasons. The reason nobody plays Sherman anymore is because it's a nade fest. I believe Motive, Chuck, did a demo analysis on it, and it was something like 40% more nade kills on Sherman compared to, like, the Anzios of the world. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was, like, 25 or 30 or something. I swear it was, like, upper 30s, lower 40s, in that range. It's a nade fest. But it ended up going in favor of the Washed Up boys. As you can see here, Floss had a lot of ringers. Caleb, Red Dog, Corey, all were ringing. So it looks like just Nightmares, Fincher, and Beluga from their actual roster. Couldn't get them all online to do the bronze match, but everybody got to play a match. It's a chance for some more movie clips, which I know the importance of that. Checking out who did what. Fincher, as always, just dropping bombs. He's such a good heavy. Corey Price, not missing a beat there. Oh, shit, I just missed something crazy happening. Don't worry, it's fine. Ben with 32 on the car, of course. Old Reliable. Bromley with 30. Bullet, 25 and 22 on the STG. Not bad at all. It looks like War Within just stopped sniping at one point, which I don't blame him on this map, especially on Axis. It's a fucking pain in the dick. D-Frag with 21. ProStar with 23. And in the first half, actually, I'm not sure which half was which, but Bromley had 30. Cody, ProStar with 38 there. Loving the bar. War Within, 26 and 23. Bullet, 25 and 20. D-Frag, 22. Ben with 26, and on the other side, wow, Fincher with 40. Had 77 kills overall and top fragged here in the third place matchup. Caleb with 28, second top fragger for Flost. Red Dog with 21, Nightmares 19, Corey 17, and Baloo with 8. I would guess that out of the 171 deaths over here, I would have to warrant a wager that it was probably around like 70 nade deaths, maybe more. That's what happens on Sherman. I personally never minded Sherman. I've always enjoyed it. Maybe I've just been lucky to not get naded into oblivion at all times. I get why people don't play it anymore, but who knows? Maybe somebody can do a revamp of that to fix the problems with it, the way that Railroad 2 just got its fucking railing problem fixed and shit, and Lennon got all their weird problems fixed, and Railroad 1 got all its problems fixed. I guess we'll see if somebody wants to take that project on. Oh, someone's got a sharpshooter on somebody. God damn. Oh, and then there's a sleeper put on the guy who's got the sharpshooter on it. Don't worry about it. So, that was a third place match, 160 to 125 for Washed Up over Flossed. We did the bronze finals last week, so we'll move right on to the silver finals, which was really quite a fucking matchup. Let's see what we got here. So, right off the bat, Lads on Tour versus Goose Patrol. Everybody was hyped up about this. I was hyped up about this. It didn't go down the way it was expected to go down, to be honest. I thought that leading into it, I said the best chance for Goose Patrol was going to be to take Lennon and then to try to steal Railroad 2. It's okay. It could be worse. I can always rewind it if I need to. But yeah, I thought, see, Lads, there it is. No honk honk this time. It was all the Lads support. As a teammate, you had to. You had no choice. And they came through. Even after a rough start, this was a really, really fun match all around. Like, all three maps were crazy. Regardless of what the score might look like here, this was especially crazy because I felt like Goose Patrol was going to take Lennon. I felt like Lads was going to take Harrington for sure. And then I felt like Railroad 2 was going to be a toss-up. Instead, what ends up happening is Goose Patrol comes out the gate flying and take Harrington 293 to 251. Gall had an excellent allied side. I believe that the consensus was like Gall for the MVP in that win. Milo, I believe, top fragged overall. Unless it was Timo. Let me double check. Timo had 60 and Milo had 70. Yeah, so Milo got the top frag overall. Really, everybody on Goose Patrol just had a pretty good game. Hopper looked great. DB sniped well both halves. Reptar looked great. As always, Reptar is quite a force with the Garand. But Gall with the Garand had 34 to top frag for Goose Patrol. Reptar was second, 25 on Nicholson, 25 on DB, and 23 apiece on Debo and Hopper. Everybody played well, really, on both teams. It was a very back-and-forth matchup. And then on the lad side of things, Timo top fragged Axis, then Milo, then Cage, then Louis, Chi, and Yanni. There wasn't a whole lot of sniper stuff to do. It was just a very fast-paced matchup. But then this half had a lot of crazy shit going on. So Debo had a couple of nutty movie clips with the car. And then, not to be outdone, Milo, who top fragged with 43, went on like just a couple of bonkers runs. I think one was like, you can see it in the frag of the week. Watch the frag of the week that Spy made. These clips are all in there. They're nuts. Milo's was nuts. And then Timo almost aced with a one Garand clip. Like, it was 5 Garands pushing trip box to mountain to cap out. The last one was like a running, flying 1 Garand. It was crazy. The only guy who didn't die was Debo, who actually had suicide naded, which spared himself potentially being killed as part of an ace. We've already seen Colin get an ace in the past. It was in a scrim against Thunder, I believe, that was posted on YouTube. I remember when it happened. I think I saw that as a short on YouTube even at one point recently. Another crazy clip. Aces are few and far between in DoD, so almost seeing one here, getting that close. I thought we were going to have a replay, ironically, of the Gall ace from a finals match back in like 2012, where I was casting, and Gall pushing up pizza with a car, as seen in Mutiny 2, aced. Just straight up. It was nuts. But yeah, so the Colin and Milo and Cage were the top 3 on Allied side for lads. 62-point win for them there on that half, but obviously coming up just short overall. And then on the Goose side of things, Debo top fragged with 31. Reptar was second. Hopper with 27 and 18. Probably the best overall score there on the team. And then DB 25 and 22. Axis side sniping is a bitch. They just did a really good job defending, though. They didn't. You expect to cap out a little more on allies than lads were able to do, and that was really a testament to the way that the Geese defended. They defended well. They didn't really lose their whole team in one fell swoop, except for on that almost ace, of course, which did result in a cap out. But yeah, they just did a great job. They came out flying. They take lads pick. I don't know what I just missed again. Damn, someone just got fucked up. So that made it look dicey for lads off the start. It was like, damn, if they lost Harrington, they got to go to Lennon now. And Goose Patrol, it's a good Lennon team. They got guys that can really fuck shit up on Lennon. Oh, shit. Damn. I missed that whole match. Anyways, so, as we can see, obviously, 515 to 280 for lads. Lads decided, no, this isn't Goose's map pick. This is ours. Lads got in a few scrims, actually, against us on Lennon. So they did the old, I always make this analogy, swinging with the weight on the bat when you are in the on-deck circle. You don't go into the on-deck circle and just swing with the weight of your actual bat that you're going to go up to the plate with. You put a donut on it to add a couple, whatever, like 10 extra ounces, 12 extra ounces, so that you're swinging a heavier bat, and then when you go up to the plate, you have more bat speed. It's the same kind of thing. Lads scrimmed against us a few times, took their licks, and then they went out and looked excellent on Lennon against Goose Patrol in the finals. On the Goose Patrol side of things, Debo top fragged along with Gall, of course, and Reptar. They were the big 3 for these guys so much. Nicholson was just behind them, 23 and 20. Actually, the only one who went positive here on the Allied side. And on the lads' Axis side, Yanni with 18 and 11, doing a good job sniping. Axis long, it's kind of a pain in the dick, as we will get to on our match. But then besides that, Milo, of course, 34, just raising hell with the STG and apartments. It's so important what goes on in apartments on this map, since it just snakes through both the double caps. Your heavy team can make up the difference of a lot of problems elsewhere. If your heavy team is dominating, but your well team and your long team are getting shit on, usually that apartment's dominance can be enough to swing it back the other way. But Louis had 25, a lot of explosive multi-kills. That's his thing. He's really, really good at going off and killing 3, 4, 5 guys at a time. That's why, you look at his score, it might not jump off the page, but it's not about Louis racking up 50 fucking frags. He's like me, where you might have a cold start, you might have a cold finish, whatever, but along the way you get that fast 4K or something that breaks open one of the cap zones, or breaks open a full cap, or holds a last flag. It's a really good mix of play styles all through lads' team. Milo and Chi on the heavies, Timo and Louis on the rifles, and then obviously Cage, such a good third rifle. I mean, you got to say the best third rifle in silver this season. I've given him my tentative MVP votes multiple times, because he had such a good season as a third rifle, as somebody who relied on that out of Toxinator at the beginning of our run of getting however many championships back in the day. Having a third rifle that is consistently putting up numbers and doing their job makes everybody's life so much easier. So just mad props to Cage. I know third rifling's not super fun, but when you're doing work, it means a lot to the team. And then Timo with 29. They won this half by 135. That's their Axis half. They won by 135. So that's, not optimal if you're Goose Patrol there. Now, their Allied side, it was a 100-point victory. I forget which half was first, actually, to be honest. I forget. I want to say it was their Allied side that they started on. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I want to say it was still only a 100-point game after the first half. But here on Axis for Goose Patrol, which if this was the first half, which I'm forgetting, you got to feel pretty good after that. 100 points down going into Allies. Didn't work out, but of course, Debo with 34, top frag, then Gall with 30, and then Reptar with 26. DB 19 and 15. They did a good job of keeping DB out of apartments where he's able to do a lot of fragging as a sniper, more so than any other snipers really get to do on Axis side of this map, especially. And then on the lad side of things, Timo and Milo, the boys, of course, 37 a pop, and Louis with 30, dropping bombs. There's Azilla. Let's go, baby. You got a movie coming for you, my man. Chi with 27, and that's some foreshadowing for what happens on Railroad 2. You know, Chi coming in right behind the Timo, Milo, and Louis, and then Cage. I mean, again, on long, like if you're not dominating long, usually it means that there's not a lot for you to do. And even when you're dominating long, it's not the same as on Lenin B2 where you could get pushed up to long steps or you get pushed up to upper apartments and swing door and just have a shitload of free kills waiting for you. But again, like this was not what was expected. The general consensus was, hey, Goose Patrol is probably going to take Lenin. Can they steal one of the other two maps? So when they started off winning Harrington, I mean, we were all like, oh, shit, you know, like on the cast, it was like, this is not good for lads heading into Lenin. But they were resilient as fuck after that. They picked themselves up. They didn't hang their heads. Good leadership on the team. You know, just good teammates for one another. I'm sure Jane gave him a speech in between maps. We know she's good at that. And then they came out and they performed like crazy on Lenin. Able to take it by, ended up being like 235 points. So it went to the rubber match, the big decider. I knew you would. And this was Railroad 2. This was totally up in the air to me. I really did not know what to expect. Lads, a lot of good Railroad 2 players, but Goose, man, what they did to Clinic in the semis, it was like, I don't know who's going to win this. Like, this is 50-50. I don't think I even predicted it. I think I literally just said, like, could be anyone. Obviously, we can see there, ended up just a shade under 100 points. 164 to 66. Lads takes the series. KTP Season 3 Silver Champs. Just looking outstanding on this third map. We can see right here on Allies, of course, like I said, Chi here. Chi with 31 and 15. This guy was just everywhere, getting kill after kill after kill. That was probably the name that was said the most in this match was Chi. Chi. He was just getting kills everywhere. Putting in serious work to the point where there wasn't people really for Milo to kill. Which usually that's what the heavy partners are feeling like with Milo. Like, damn, dude, leave me somebody to kill because Milo's just fucking killing everything. In this case, Chi was doing all the killing. Timo right behind him at 29. And then Milo with 24. He still put in plenty of work with the bar. You know, Cage going train. It was just the usual train thing. And Yanni, 23 and 15 sniping. For Goose Patrol, Nicholson kind of ended up being the guy who was taking a lot of the killing in apartments. It's tough going apartments with an STG. It is so tough. I personally would never want to do it. I used to do it once upon a time with a thumb trackball mouse and hated it. And then I started going train because of it. So that tells you how I feel about it. So no harm there. Yeah, dude, Louis won silver. The lads on tour took the silver championship in 3 maps here against Goose Patrol. It was a crazy series. Crazy series. This was map 3, actually. And this half in particular was really fucking close. 17 points. I believe it was a ninja cap in the end. Like, to some extent, a ninja cap. And then on the Goose Patrol side, Reptar had the best score. 28 and 21. Reptar looked great. Really all throughout, like, the second half of the season and into the playoffs. Andrew Gall had 28. Debo with 25, DB 18, Hopper and Train 7. Again, the train car battle. It's just usual train matchup. Only, you know, train can be a pain in the ass in general and slow, but this was a third map of a grand final, so it's going to be even a little more slow. Or a lot more slow. Dude, Reptar has really, really gotten better and better, and especially with the Garand, man. Reptar with the Garand is a beast. He has shit on me a number of times with the Garand. I know Jane hates Train. The biggest non-train fan there is. But then, so Axis side, this was the second half. It was 17-point deficit heading in, and lads just kind of just took it to him from here. set themselves apart. Milo with 39 on the STG, right after I'm talking about how hard it is to STG in apartments. Of course, Milo proves that to be false. There was one point where he had a car in apartments and he just did not die for, it had to have been like 4 or 5 minutes. They could not get into apartments. It was just impossible. So he had 39. Chi, second top frag and taking that MVP of that third map for sure. 29 on him. I believe he was kind of going like long with the Unter, which I love that strat. Something that we've done over the years on Thunder, depending on who we have on the team. Timo with 27. Louis with 27. Yanni with 21. And again, Cage and Trained 14. And then on the Goose Patrol side, you had Debo was gone by this point. Gall at 24. DB 23. Reptar 20, Nicholson 18, Hopper 17. Debo had plenty of frags too. Like, I don't remember the exact score, but he was up there. He was putting in work still. Actually, if you look at the deaths there, he probably had right around like 35 at this point, 36. Tough to say because there's TKs, but yeah, it's probably around 35, 36. But yeah, this was just lads having themselves a really, really perfect Railroad 2 game when they needed it most. Good rotations, not ever panicking when they lost mid. Really, it was just, they always had somebody in the right place to make sure that they didn't lose the map control they had. They were doing a good job of using apartments to try to wrangle back map control when they lost it. Milo not letting the bars get into apartments was massive too. I'm not surprised, especially with is Nightmare sniping, because the way that sniping works in Source, I could see Nightmare being even more ridiculous in Source than in 1.3. I remember what it was like sniping in Source, and I think that game will cater to his sniping abilities a lot. I'm not surprised by that at all. He's rifling. Interesting. Well, I guess, good players are good players. Nightmare could rifle in 1.3, too, and be a god. I could not heavy in Source at all. I sucked at it. I can heavy in 1.3, but not Source. It was so different, and I could never really get used to the differences. Oh, yeah, of course, Arachnid's got to be sniping that if he's on the same team, too. That's sick. That's a good team right there. I got to start paying attention to the Source League going on now that I know that there's a league out there. Maybe that'll be what I do in the off-season for the Dodcast. But yeah, lads on tour, 2-1. Yeah, we did. That's the next match I got to do before we get to the movie, too. We got that one right here. But yeah, 2-1. 2-1 for lads over Goose Patrol in the silver. Now we'll get to the gold. We had Thunder versus T3, of course. As always, this is always the big matchup that we all love to see and love to play in. At least I do. Win or lose, I was saying it after when I went and did the post-game interview as well. To me, like, we're playing competitive DoD in 2023. We're not making money. We're not getting famous. To me, like, doing competitive things is for the competition. And when it comes to that, like, there's no one that can match that better than T3. Like, in all the years of Thunder playing, and all the years of finals, T3 has been the team that has more often than anyone pushed us to the brink and beat us. And we always play these close, intense fucking matches. And the score doesn't really reflect it here, but both these matches were this close to going the other way. I'll do the scores of everybody real quick. As you can see, I had a lot of fun on Axis sniping on Lennon. I dropped the sniper rifle after about 5 minutes because T3... So this is the thing. The way that the pick ban worked, when they left Lennon in, it was like, huh. I thought for sure they'd ban Lennon. So when they didn't ban Lennon, it was like they must have something ready to go here to beat us on it. That scared me. The fact that Lennon was still in. And they did. They did a really good job of using apartments and long to just lock down that side of the map on allies. And they did. 145 to 103. 42-point win there. More than a cap. PDX top fragged, of course. Bud and Taylor both in apartments. 31 and 28 between the two of them. Just were all over the place. I think those were the guys that probably killed me more than anyone. Nick Patton, as always, rock solid, hitting nothing but the most insane shots ever on everybody. It's fucking nuts. Every time I see that guy get a kill, it's a fucking highlight. which I know personally from making his movie. And then Leo with 21, Till with 20, and on our side, I had 14. Jared Tox had 38. He's probably the MVP of the finals, I think. If I recall correctly, he just top fragged all 4 halves in the server. J-Rod with 28, carrying my ass all over long. Brian Dorito, 27. Ryan Omenair, 23. 17 on Jules. 42-point loss there. And then second half, so I tried to warn. So I really hope that nobody thought that I was trolling in this half. I was letting everybody know for the last few weeks that on Allied side Lennon, I'm picking up the carbine for the 2 nades as much as I can whenever I'm not going to be in a sniper versus sniper situation, which is what I did. And I probably got more kills with the carbine than I did with the sniper rifle, combining both halves of this match. Which, again, I was picking up every weapon I saw on the ground when I had the carbine, but there were some times I had the carbine. But it was not meant to be troll. But this half, we ended up taking by 131. They had us on the ropes. First of all, they had us on the ropes in the first half where we were holding our last flag and it was like spawn, get killed, like just desperately trying not to get capped on for ages. They were really cranking up the pressure. They did a good job of not letting us wrestle map control back. That was why I think that, at least speculating, that's why they were having the bars jump out long a lot and just hold long, because they know that the smartest thing to do is try to go through long, because it's a quick cap if you need to get map control back off your 1. So they were making sure we couldn't do that. Like, pretty much every time we even got close to it on our Axis side, they were either breaking it or killing us right after. And they did a really good job with that. But this half, there was another situation where all of us were dead. J-Rod was the last alive, so we were all watching. We had just prone capped long, and then we all died, and so he was left prone on the flag as the last guy alive for like 5 seconds. We didn't have any flags. He ended up killing 4 people while prone, which I'm sure, if that happened to me, I would have been screaming and I would have been MM1ing, but it worked out for us in the end. I would have probably panicked and unproned and died, but J-Rod kept his wits about him, and then that was kind of like the turning point there, where if they had got that cap, then all of a sudden, I think it would have been like less than a cap that we were up by, so they would have had our backs against the wall. And when they smell blood, they fucking don't let up. So thankfully, J-Rod came through there. Otherwise, I think we probably would have lost Lennon. But frag-wise, for T3, Leo top fragged. So good with the car on this map. PDX next up at 29. Taylor with 24. Nick with 24. Till with 18. And Bud with 16. And then for us, Dorito and Jules, 33 apiece. Tox with 32. Ryan with 29, me with 26, and J-Rod with 24. Tox with the top frag overall with 70 kills. And yeah, we ended up getting it. After that cap didn't go their way, we got the cap back. And then that was kind of like the end of it. It was just rolling from there. But again, it was literally like this fucking close. This close to going the other direction. It was absolutely, as always with T3, I love playing these matches. We've lost half of them. We've won half of them. Even the losses are just as fun. I hate losing, but to me, I'm like, what is there, like, what are we going to accomplish? Like, what is there? What's the difference between whether we win or lose these matches? It's literally just bragging rights. To me, the most fun thing about it is getting to play these really intense games that are as close as it fucking gets. There was a long time where we didn't really have games like this. G-Skill would have been the other team that was really pushing us like that. Those games were always really fun. T3, though, like I said, they've beat us half the time. We beat them half the time. But Lennon, we took 322 to 233. And then it went to Anzio. Anzio, you can see 319 to 183. We felt pretty good about Anzio. We always feel pretty good about Anzio. You never know. Like, there was the clinic match last season. We were missing Tox for that, so it wasn't perfect, but, we got smoked on Anzio. We felt really good about it with this lineup. As you can see here, first half, their Allied side, they won by 6. Nick Patton top fragged. He did what a good sniper's going to do on Allied Anzio. He locked Plaza down. It really is so important to have a sniper that can do that. I know a lot of Allied snipers want to run over the bridge as soon as they can, and that's a good idea at a certain point when you're like pushing for a cap out really hard and you have everything else in a vice locked down. Nick knows that better than anybody, you know, and he really did not let us get into Plaza hardly at all. Taylor had 22, Leo had 21, 16, 16, and 14 on PDX, Till, and Bud. And then on our side, Brian Dorito with 29, 24 on J-Rod, 22 on Jared Tox, 19 on Jules, 19 on me, 14 on Ryan. You know, it was really more of a battle, as you expect with two teams like this. Like, the Allied side is going to hold Plaza really well, and the Axis are going to hold Bridge really well, and that's kind of what it came down to. You know, we got a cap, they got a cap, they got more hold points here. Everybody was playing really, really well. Nobody was making any fucking crazy mistakes. And Nick was the best player in the server here in this half, along with Brian. Like, just the two of them. Brian holding on Bridge and Nick holding on Plaza. Those were the two cruxes of the map when it came down to it. And it ended up basically a tie, 6 points. You know, it's like the difference between holding Street for an extra 5. Actually, you can see right there. Allies score 5 points. That was it right there, the last tick. It was a tie game, basically, up until the last tick of the half. So that tells you how close it was. So then heading into second half, how did this start off? I'm trying to think. I believe that we quick capped Plaza, which, oh no, we didn't. We were worried about quick capping Plaza. We figured Leo and Taylor and Bud, they're all going to be able to throw the break nades with 100% efficiency, so we waited, tried to get some picks. Bridge side, you know, Axis, you know they're going to get it. We seeded the bridge. But then we were able to get the picks to open up Plaza and get it back. I kind of tried to do my best Nick Patton impression and hold. Looking at the frags, 27 on Taylor. You know, I think that he was probably the best player overall, in my opinion, in this series for T3. He was playing out of his mind all over the place, and with the heavy. I know, Leo. And I felt bad that you had to go Plaza. I know it's tough when you guys have all those bridge players, you know, and you're a bridge player. Plaza sucks to have to car. Even for me, who, like, enjoys it more than most people, it sucks. It sucks having to go up against a sniper and 2 bars, and you're in this enclosed space where nades are flying in. It's such a pain in the ass. I've been really happy to go bridge on Axis, which I never imagined being the case. I used to hate bridge, but once I started getting naded in double windows over and over again, carring, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna go bridge. Yeah, it's impossible to see that. That's why I just sit there and shoot at the wall and double windows all the time, because I know I can't see the sniper. I'm like, my better chance, I guess, is to just shoot at the wall and hope for the best. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. It's so frustrating, that route. I'm waiting for the day that somebody comes up with a different strat on Axis side Plaza to eliminate the use of double windows and just, like, have 3 autos running down main ramp or something. It could work. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I noticed that PDX started coming over to Plaza more. And then he was killing me, of course. He snuck up on out of sewers or something on me once and scared the shit out of me. I had no idea he was going to be there. It's crazy because you can go through sewers up the ladder of Church Tower without anyone hearing you. So, like, until you hear that ladder, you'll never know anybody's there. And PDX is so good at using that to take Plaza control. And he surprised the absolute shit out of me at one point. But yeah, so I mean, this half, it basically just came down to again, like, we held on to Plaza as the allies. Dude, sniper dubs does seem to be the new idea. We were doing that for a while too, and then it just kind of became like Jared didn't want to go bridge anymore, so we switched back. And then every once in a while, I actually after the match was like, I should have probably just started going Plaza to try to kill Nick, because Nick was shitting on us so bad over there. And I felt bad because I'm just sitting on bridge, and I'm like, I can go Plaza if anyone wants to switch, you know? But yeah, this was just, when it came down to it, like, with a game this close on Anzio in particular, sometimes it's literally just the luck of spawns and timing. You know, T3 did so good at holding Street for the majority of the half. Like, it took us sending 3 and 4 people in there a lot of the time. They were pushing through Z really well. Leo, in particular, at one point, I know, pushed Z and got, like, 7 or 8 kills, where it was just, like, in spawn house, in rope, back on bridge, just really picking off that side of the map so well. But yeah, just in the end, like, I was in tower a lot of the time. I had 2 breaks on Plaza Cap where I kind of fell by the wayside. Nobody realized I was in tower, and I was able to ninja break the cap which saved one full cap, which, if not for that, then we are obviously in another situation where if they get that cap, then we're back in like a one cap game and anything else can happen, which is why I keep saying how like the actual match score really does not tell the story, because it was like one moment in both matches where it was this close to going the other way. Right? Or just eliminate the plaza side of the map. Bridge is fun, except for on the bridge, because there's times where I'll be standing on the bridge and get hit by a car for like 10 damage. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Because I should have died there, and I got 90 health after a car shot. The hitboxes are so bad. There's a lot of I love Anzio, and I think like for team play wise, it's the most well-rounded map, but there's a lot of problems with it too that are like glitchy and fucked up, and the hitboxes are weird, and then nading over spots that are just crazy. But yeah, especially having to go Plaza with any gun on Axis side, it's just the worst. It's the worst. I feel you on that big time. Like I said, I was so happy to be going Bridge on Axis side for a while there. Now I'm going to have to go back to Plaza again from now on, which I'm not looking forward to. But, you know, this was just another barn burner of a matchup between us and T3. It's always so fun to play these guys. Win or lose, it's always a close match. It's always a hard-fought match. It always feels like it's as much adrenaline as you can really get out of playing a video game. Whenever we play each other, I've had all these single point wins and losses. Like every time we play each other, it seems like it's coming down to less than 10 points. Oh yeah, dude, right? It's insane. It's like the wall is like, you know, a pixel thick and somehow it's stopping 95% of the damage. It drives me crazy. Anzio was the final map for both CPLs, but WSVG was actually Harrington for both matches of the finals of Harrington. Because for some reason in DOD, the lower bracket always won in the big land finals. At 04, Highball came out of the lower bracket and won twice. At 05, Check 6 came out of the lower bracket and won twice, all on Anzio. And then in 06, Complexity came out of the lower bracket and won twice on Harrington. Oh, she kicked out. But yeah, really just such a good season again to T3 as always. As I said in that post-game interview, like I would hate to play in a league where T3 doesn't exist. It's just so much fun to play against a team that is this good, understands the game like this. All their players are great players and smart players. And being able to really like weigh each other up in this way and size each other up on all these maps and just see who's better on that day, you know, like it's so back and forth every time we play. I swear to God, it's almost like we alternate. I don't think that there's ever been a time that we've like either of us have won back-to-back match. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Railroad 2 and Rail Yard was back-to-back, I think. So T3 won back-to-back there. But I think that's the only time that it's been back-to-back matches going in one direction or the other. Every other time we just alternate who's winning. And on this day, it was our turn to win. We lost on Railroad 2 in the last week of the season. I was hoping it would go 3 maps just so that we could play Railroad 2 against each other in a third map of a final, because those games always go to single digits, whether it's Railroad 2 or Rail Yard. So much fun. But yeah, that was Thunder 2-0 over T3 for the gold finals of Season 3. That wraps up Season 3. It's all said and done. Season 4 ain't coming till like September. There's at least one big draft to come for the 20th anniversary of DOD, I know. I know that Ryan and I were talking about coming up with something else. Like, the idea was like a Marco Bowl, but I was like, what about a Marco Pinto Bowl where we, you know, 12 or 10 people sign up, and we captain against each other. Corey and Casey captain against each other, and then the winners play each other to decide supremacy, something like that. Sort of like the Showdown and KTP Classic from after Season 1. Figuring out shit like that. There will be DOD to play inevitably, though. And then September, we'll all be back, and everybody will probably have missed DOD enough by then that it won't feel like a chore to play anymore. Because that's usually how it goes. Wait, who won? Oh, shit, I missed that whole match, too. It's fine, whatever. Congratulations to Romario. Congratulations to Lads. Congratulations to Thunder. good season, everybody. It was another season where we had a fuckload of close matches. It seems like every season the skill gap closes in more and more to where we're seeing, very few even like remotely close to blowouts. Let alone there being regular blowouts. Like all the matches I cast, I would say it was like 90% really close matches that could have been anybody's win up until the last few minutes of it, which is good to see that even in 2023, people continue to develop and get better at the game. There's still things to learn. You got teams like T3 who are literally changing the way that maps are played and finding new ways to be successful on maps and routes, which I love. It's the kind of shit that we are always trying to come up with over however many years we've been playing together now, so it's always awesome to see that. But yeah, that does it for Season 3. KTP, everybody, good season. Now I have the movie here. So now we're to the movie premiere portion. I'm going to stop recording this. I'm still streaming.